Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. We've got a new unboxing. This one is the 112 Collective Judge Dredd figure from Mezco Toyz. Now, we've opened up so many other Judge Dredd figures. We've got the black and white variant, the Lawmaster, the Cursed Earth, and this is just the OG original basic figure. We were able to get our hands on it. Obviously came out some time ago. So let's open up, show off what's inside. First foremost thing that stands out is the box. It's got the plastic covering with Dredd's helmet on the front, which is always pretty cool and stands out, of course, from a lot of the other videos. Inside, we can see what we could expect with the figure, kind of traditional coloring. And yeah, basically out of this, I'm kind of expecting what we've seen before with all the other figures, and just with different coloring. So, of course, got the shield, Judge Dredd on the inside, and the figure within. So let's open up and show off what you get with this. Yeah, baggie. Let's see if there's anything underneath. Nope, this is pretty basic stuff. Stands, someone's hair. So nothing there. Let's look at the figure. Nothing really stands out in the figure itself. We're just going to kind of go over coloring and the normal movement of the figure. The hands, the cuffs, the gun, the baton, and the grenades and knife, they all look pretty standard. This is an interesting figure in that it's pretty much just a color variant throughout the various versions of it. There's nothing else that seems to have stand out at all, which is kind of very different from some of the other variants that have been released. Those all have had maybe some extra items. They might have had different weapons. Nope, this looks pretty basic as far as what it comes with it. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just pretty standard. Alright. Immediately doing our stand-up test. Figure standing on its own, no problems. Didn't even have to move the legs at all. Alright, we're going to go with our normal movement test. Got the ankles up, down, left and right, no problem. We've got a little bit at the upper leg. Of course, the knees, no problem. Hips, no problem. Waist, very little movement. That's kind of a signature thing as far as Mezco figures. As far as shoulders, even with the big giant stuff on the shoulders, no problem. Elbow, no problem. Wrist, pretty standard. And do the other side. No problem moving with those as well. Let's go with the head. The head movement. Is pretty standard stuff. Nothing too shocking there. Alright, let's go with the actual coloring itself and the detail. This figure looks fantastic because of that. It's really the detail on this one. The boots are a little scuffed. They got some mud and darkness on, dark mud on them. So they look like they've been worn, which is great. Same with the lower legs. Some slight wear on it. It's not just straight green. Of course, got the straps on the side, and then space for you to put your weapons, such as a knife or his gun. Knee pads, slightly scuffed as well. Some great details on this. I think this is one thing that's kind of stood out on all these figures. The details on them have been really, really solid. Just looks great when it comes to that. Belt itself, just like everywhere else, some slight scuffing. It's got the green as well, some pockets with some nice detailing there. All looks a little worn. Space to put your either your grenades, and then on the side is a baton. It can go right here. We've seen that in other videos. Looking at the elbows. The elbows have slight riveting, which is nice. The riveting looks decent. On the right, it looks a little bit better than the left. The coloring is, I think, a little bit smudged. That's a little bit of a bummer, but not that big deal. Also kind of gives a little bit of a worn effect, but I don't think that's what's meant. And then, of course, we got the gloves. Lots of detail there, some shading there, that's fantastic. Shield itself, I always liked this. I thought this was really smart. It's got the magnet on there to keep it on. The shoulders look fantastic. All done through magnets, which is pretty damn cool. There as well, a little bit gold. And then the helmet is where it's at. Looks fantastic. Of course, it has this angry design. Something I don't think I've noticed in other ones, maybe it's not prevalent, is the mask in the front is actually see-through a little bit, so you can kind of see underneath it. It's a clear plastic with the bolts kind of drawn on them, which is a small detail that looks great. And actually, if you flip it upside down, you can actually see his eyes underneath. And there are eyes painted on there. So that's a hell of a detail, and it's really, really solid. The helmet itself has some scuffing, which, you know, adds to things. And the helmet does not come off. And then, yeah, I mean, that's about it in a nutshell. Just like the other figures, it's got his gun, it's got baton, you got some grenades, handcuffs. We've seen those before. I'm not going to go in tons of detail of them because we've seen them in pretty much every other version. The Cursed Earth, the black and white, and now this. So I think this pretty much comes close to finishing the collection. I think all that we have left is the dark blue figure that's out there, so probably won't get that one. But yeah, you know, basically, if you are a Judge Dredd fan, this is worth checking out. There's some of them that are kind of making it to the market for reasonable prices. You know, obviously it came out a bit ago, so it's a little bit harder to get a hold of, but, you know, we'll do what we can, hooking you up with some affiliate links for you to purchase your own. Basically, I think if you're a Judge Dredd fan or a really hardcore fan of the Mezco 112 figures, this is kind of one that should be gotten. You know, it's been out for a bit, but it's got some great detail. I love the use of magnets to get some stuff on there. And yeah, I mean, it's a classic figure done upright. So, you know, if you are interested in any of the 112 figures, we've of course got tons of unboxings. We got lots of news coming all the time about them. So check it out at graphicpolicy.com or right here on YouTube at Graphic Policy. As always, thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I am the law, and keep it. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.